Alright, hello all you crazy people out there, my name is Dragonite, and welcome back to making a 3D RPG in Game Maker Studio. I still need to come up with a better name for that. Let's see, in the last part, what did I do? Character menu. I did the character menu, among other things. And I still feel like there should be a 0%, like a dash dash, instead of 0% for jump height for Joe. Alright, whatever. And in this part, I think the next thing up on my list is to do, weapon classes. Alright, cool, weapon classes. Let's see. So I'm going to close out of here. And weapons are going to be items, I think, because that makes logical sense. Let's go to construct, database, const item pockets. These are the Pokemon item pockets, or the main Pokemon item pockets for most of the games. General, berries, I can get rid of berries in favor of, how about, weapon. Mail, I may want to keep mail for, like, Skyrim mail that people send you to initiate side quests and stuff. I could stick that in books, as in Skyrim, but I don't know, I think I'll keep them separate. Cards are a, like, trading card collectible idea that I had that I don't know if I'm going to implement. So I'm just going to stick another item category in here. This is going to be armor. And now I need to go and correct the like definitions down here. They have items, they have icons rather and sound effects. Oops. So yeah, item pockets have icons and sound effects. The icon is just going to be basically the icon that you would see in the menu in the bag in Pokemon. I'll change them eventually. And the sound effect, I don't have the screen capture set to record the computer audio, but actually, that was pretty loud. You might have heard it playing through my headphones. That's what you hear when you pick up the item, which is also from Pokemon, which I will also have to replace eventually. Anyway, let's see. Next, I'm going to want to go into const item, and this is full of substitute temporary items and stuff. I'm going to try to organize this into like key items, regular items. Most of these are placeholders. None is obviously what happens when you don't have an item equipped to anything. The spatula, the bicycle. I couldn't think of anything better. These are books. I'll fill in the rest of those later. I guess I'll make another list of weapons. And this can be, how about... Chase can have, like, false teeth. Fowler can have a baseball, because he can throw them at people. And Joe can have, what can Joe have? Physics. Physics. And for armor, I'm just going to go with, like, dog armor, chicken armor, and, snake armor. I have no idea what any of those would really look like. I actually tried Google searching chicken armor not too long ago and seeing what came up, and it was just nothing really of interest. Let's see, so I'm just going to copy and paste this. I'm going to make this full screen. Alright, I hope nobody minds. I'm going to mark that off with another comment down there. What was the weapons? False teeth? I almost said fangs. Fangs sound a little bit more intimidating than false teeth, so they can be a more powerful weapon. And the name is going to be false teeth. Oops. The plural name is going to be the same because the plural of teeth is still teeth. Well, teeth is plural to begin with because there's more than one of them. The pocket can be weapon. The value can be, I'm just going to give this an arbitrary value of 100. Min level, max level. This is for, like, randomly generated loot. I don't know if I'm actually going to implement randomly generated loot, but I'll leave it in there for now in case I do, because it's better to have something in the game that doesn't do anything than to have to re-implement it later. I can scrub it out at the end if I don't want it. The sprite. The sprite is for, in here, the icon that shows in the bag for the particular icon, the particular item. I'm just going to take, how about, okay, let's color that black, and draw some teeth. Those are too sharp. Those look too scary. Alright, those can be teeth. Those can pass as teeth. Let's make another one for the baseball. And that can basically be this. And let's give it some red seams, because baseballs have red seams. This really looks pretty bad. But, you know what? Programmer art. And what was the last one? Physics. Alright, I'll just draw like a book or something for physics. Let's make this a green book. Because Joe is a nerd, and Joe likes physics, and he's like the only one here who likes physics. There's probably somebody who's watching this who's going to say I like physics too. And if so, good for you. I don't like physics. Anyway, that's a little bit bright. It'll make it a little hard to see. That's better. And let's fill this in. And the pages can be white. That's not white. That's black, in fact. Alright, the pages can be white. That's physics. It looks sort of like a book when zoomed out. Alright. So, the image index, the sprite index, whatever it is for the false teeth is going to be 1. The item effect code, I'm just going to assign this no for now. I'm undecided how I'm going to handle the weapon effects. It's probably going to be the item effect code. Item power, I'm going to make this 100. This is going to be like the damage rating of the item. Do I want to do that? Sure. Let's go with that. There's the description, which can be false teeth. They sting a little if they bite you. Alright. That's going to be the description for false teeth. I don't know why a dog needs false teeth, but you know what? Don't question these things. As I was saying, item effect codes. Things like healing items would have an item effect code that's for like healing, and so it will run code when you use it that will restore HP for a particular character. This may control like how the weapon works when you use it in the field, like melee attack versus range attack versus like area of effect attack. Again, I haven't decided yet. Next, I'm going to go and copy this twice for the other two weapons that I decided to go with. What is that? Baseball and physics. Give me a moment while I type this out. Alright, now for the fun part. What should the item descriptions for baseball and physics be? A baseball. If it's thrown hard enough, it could leave a bruise. Anybody who has been hit by a pitch will know that. And physics can just be physics. Bores foes to death. Alright. Again, if you like physics and you're watching this, I hope you are not too offended, but I just don't see how anybody could possibly be interested by physics. Enough of that. Next, I'm going to need... If I sound like I know what I'm doing here more than I usually do, that's because I tried recording this before and I got interrupted and I just decided to do it again. To show who can equip what, I'm going to have an array in the item create event. And this is going to be weapon... No, this is going to be equip weapon characters dot... No, classes. God. I'm still mistyping classes for characters. Chase equals false. I'm going to do the same thing for Joe and Fowler. Fowler and Joe, whatever order you want. Fowler and Joe. I really should have Joe in the front because, again, initializing array is back to front instead of front to back. And then I'm going to do the same thing for armor. You can equip the particular types of armor. And this is all going to be false by default. And in the, I can get out of there. In the creation script for the item, let's see, I can just have a couple more arguments for equip, chase. Alright, so it's going to take 6 more arguments, and these are going to determine whether the particular item can be equipped by Chase, Fowler, and Joe for offensive and defensive purposes. And to add the arguments, I'm just going to say if there are 16 arguments, because these last 3 are optional, equip weapon of classes.chase equals argument 10. I'm going to copy and paste this a bunch of times, fill it in. Actually, I'm going to increment the argument first. 15 is the maximum, as far as I know, that you can have in the maximum number of arguments that you can pass to a script in GameMaker. Fowler, Joe, Fowler, Joe, equip armor. Not arg more, armor. Alright. That should do it. And the regular items will have all of those values set to false, and they won't be able to be equipped to anybody. But these, oops, I forgot a comma in here. Comma after description. Alright. It doesn't have any effect on the actual code, but the code help that shows at the bottom of the screen here, it was just bothering me. I'm sorry. Anyway, fangs can be equipped by chase. True. Fowler, false. Joe, false. Armor, false, false, false. And I'm going to copy and paste this and change the values a couple times. Again. False. False. And true and true. Alright. Now to do armor, which should be a very simple matter. Dog armor, chicken armor, and snake armor. I'm going to make this full screen again. Let's copy that. That is a real life dog barking behind me. Hang on, let me fill this in. Hopefully she'll stop. Alright, that aside, I have filled in all of these values for the armor. There's dog armor, chicken armor, snake armor once again. I've set the sprite index, or image index, or whatever it is, to 0 because I have no idea how to draw dog, chicken, and snake armor. Filled in the descriptions, filled in who can equip them. For now, I think that's all I'm going to do. I am going to go and... How about run the game, hope it doesn't explode. Alright, excellent. The texture pages didn't screw up, which is kind of what I was afraid of. Now, I'm going to go into the debug screen and add a couple items to the game world. This one can be... item is going to be, what is it? How about false teeth? Oops, I didn't mean to close that. This one is going to be baseball. Let's move that to the floor. And this one is going to be the, what was the third one? Physics. Alright, and let's move that to the floor again. And I can pick these up, right? Found a physics. I feel like that's not correct. Who cares? And I can go into the inventory. Oh, cool. I've, that looks really weird. That actually looks like a book in, down here. But it looks really weird when it's shrunk down like this. False teeth does not appear to have... Oh, it's just not big enough, apparently. Those do not look like teeth. I'm sorry. Dragonite, what were you thinking? Anyway, how much of this menu have I programmed? I can say use, nothing happens when I say use. Okay, so there's one more menu option than there should be. What's Chuck? Nothing for Chuck. Back. Alright, so it's offset by 1. Ooh, this doesn't look like it's supposed to be happening. Alright, let's check the physics. Sorry, physics fans. That's interesting. I'll have to go and do some corrective work on my my inventory system because this is not working exactly the way it's supposed to. What happens if I check them all? Oh, I wanna check them all. Alright, so it backs all the way out to the pause menu. Okay. And I can't go back into the pause menu because I don't have any items. That's interesting, I guess. Let me know in the comments if you want to see me programming the pause menu, because that was not the pause menu, but the inventory menu, because I generally find that pretty boring, and I don't know. There goes the dog again. I generally find that pretty boring, and I don't know if I can make it interesting enough to warrant a video. I'm gonna go do something about that dog. Alright, again, let me know if you want to see me programming the inventory menu, because, again, depending on how interesting you think that is. I could just make it its own video, and if people don't want to watch it, they don't have to watch it. I could do like I did for the programming a racing game thing and speed it up. Anyway, the same really goes for the equipment menu because I have a feeling that's just going to look a lot like that doesn't do anything yet. I have a feeling it's just going to look a lot like the character menu with a couple more options. Anyway, I am going to go and close out of this game. Let's quit game. What happens if I hit return to title? It's a little late for that. But anyway, what else did I want to do? Parameters such as base damage, attack speed. Base damage is done. Attack speed. I have a feeling the attack speed is going to be dependent on the skill of the player and like the length of the animation. But we'll see. Who can wield? That's done already. Code on deployment. In other words, when you start to use the attack, when you throw the baseball or whatever. Code on landing is what happens when the baseball hits. So I guess I could have a baseball that's like on fire and it sets foes on fire. I don't know. I guess I'll leave this up to I do want to make this game sort of a community effort for the people who are watching this. If you're still watching this and if you have any strong opinions on how this should work, on how the weapon should work, let me know in the comments and I will take them into consideration. Create equipment menu. That is another thing that, again, I may do on my own time just so that it doesn't take a video, because that could take a very long time. It'll also probably take a little bit of planning out on pencil and paper, so I probably shouldn't do it now. I should at least draw like a diagram of how it's supposed to look. Anyway, I'm going to close that card for now, and I'm going to move on to the next one. Rendering and mapping system. Load and unload chunks of terrain when new maps are entered without leaking memory. That could be an issue. I don't know. Do I want to test this? Do I want to open that can of worms? Well, I told myself that I would open that can of worms, so I'm going to do it. Let's run the game again. Alright, now, I should have a teleporter object in here. Yeah, a teleport stone. Oh, no, that's for teleporting between two different places on the map. That's not... Oh, underpass is what it is. That is not the correct roof texture, but okay. What is that roof texture? I don't know what that roof texture is. Where's the door? Door is here. That is another bug texture. Fun. That is a trapdoor that will go to the map of let's go to Solaris, and this is gonna happen when I click on it. I'm also going to want to watch the memory usage. Whoa, okay, so I'm under the world. Because that makes sense. Alright, let's not be under the world. Alright, this is what was going to be the distance models look a little bit wonky there. This was going to be the game world for when this was a Pokemon game, but since that is no longer happening, this is no longer the game world. Let's see. This is completely unrelated, but when I run and I jump and I just stop like that, that feels a little weird. I should probably put that on my to-do list for things that I want to fix later. Let's see, where am I on memory usage? I realized that I could use the Game Maker debugger for this. I'm at 802 megabytes of memory. That's more than I would want. So let's go back to the, what is it, underpass. Let's go back to the, what world was it? Alright, so it looks like it's hovering right around 806 megabytes of memory with the this world loaded, which is good. It's what I want to happen. I'm going to close out of here, and I'm going to... Come on, stop that. I'm going to close out of there, and I'm going to go and check off this. Draw chunks of the terrain that are within the view, but call out those that are not. I'm 90% sure that this is already done. I shouldn't have closed the game again. I'm 90% sure that this is already done. Alright, so I have returned to Solaris, which looks jarringly incomplete from where I'm standing right now. Alright, so the view stream culling I'll deal with first. it should be so that the whole world isn't actually drawn around you, just what's in front of you. I'm going to keep an eye on the thing that says visible triangles over here now, in the debug screen on the right side. And as I go into settings and play with the field of view, that number should grow and shrink. Graphics, field of view. Alright, so it looks like that's working properly. You can't make the field of view too large. I'm sure that's gonna... I'm not used to... I'm sure like some like MLG players are used to playing like this, but I'm not, so it looks a little bit weird with the field of view up this high. On the note of one of the characters being a chicken, this is probably more like what they'd see because the eyes are on the side of their head, but never mind. The other thing I suppose is the view distance. What happens... I get more of a kick out of this than I should, but what happens if I increase the render distance like to an insane degree? Let's hike this all the way up to 255. Alright, so the game is really chugging, but you can actually see the whole world like this. Alright, I'm just playing around. This isn't very important. Again, this has to do with calling out things that you can't see. It's nice if you can see all the way across the map, but it's not terribly important because like the amount of detail that you can make out is very minimal. These are actually the like the far distance models that are being drawn, and not the regular ones. How does it look? I forget. How does it look if I bring it all the way down? Graphics. Whoop. And the world is slowly shrinking around me, getting less detailed and zooming in. All right, that looks a little weird. This is like playing Minecraft with the view distance all the way down. All right, so I think I can check this off too. Again, I was pretty sure that that was already working, but I just wrote it down just to be safe. Players and NPCs should collide with the terrain without issue. This is also part of the scripting engine. I know the player can, but I don't know if NPCs can. I don't remember if NPCs can. I'm gonna have a look at the cutscenes. There should be a cutscene that's like have an NPC walk in a circle. Let's see, cutscenes are in here. Cynthia, demo quest, field effects, fountain, nothings, save, screen reversal shaders, teleport, test car set. Oh, test movement. What's the name of this in the game? This is, okay, so it's just called test movement. And this is going to have the NPC walk in a circle, more or less. I'm going to run the game. Again, I don't know why I closed out of it, knowing that I'll probably just come back. Alright, let's plop down an NPC and watch what happens. Where are the NPCs? Here's the NPC. Your cutscene that happens when I talk to you is going to be test movement. Test movement. And when I talk to you, yo, you're not even moving. Why is the camera rotating? Alright, that was odd. I'm going to want to have a look. I feel like, should I leave this for the scripting engine to deal with when I get there? That's the next thing on my list anyway. I kind of want to spend the rest of this video dealing with actual things related to the map system, like can the NPCs walk into the wall and stop when they're supposed to? Alright, so that sets their direction. So he should at least turn when I talk to him like that. Right? Relative versus absolute direction. Wait, walk. Move, walk. What happens there? It sets the X speed. Oh, I know why. I think I know why. I think I know why that is. Nope. Wait. X speed equals 0. Let's search for that. Why do I have X speed being assigned to X speed? I'm gonna get rid of that. No, I'm gonna comment that out. That might have been there for a reason, although I somewhat doubt it. Huh. Movement player, camera entity, create. This is just a bunch of create events. Player step event. What's going on in the player step event? Oh, that's when you try to walk outside the boundaries of the world. That's still more create events. So why isn't he moving? He should be moving. Why isn't he even turning? I'll deal with that first. What's an SPR face? So this is basically turn, except that instead of, oh, duh, this is just for, I thought this was like turn to face. I was thinking turn to face, which, no, that's for, causing the NPC to look at you. This is just, in other words, turn. Towards, in this case, the direction equals 270, which I think is south? Yeah, I think that's south. Wait, which is 1. Walk. Why wasn't he even actually facing that direction? Was this being executed? Alright, let me try showing the message there, and let me run the game again. This is what debugging looks like. Debugging's a pain. I hate debugging, but it's a necessary evil. Alright, let's try this again. Yo! Alright, so it says you're facing direction equals 270. Why is it not actually drawing? Alright, so now you turn to 0. Now you're at 90. Now you're at 180. This is weird. What exactly? Yeah, do it again. The camera isn't even following the direction that he should be walking in. That was odd. Huh. Is he actually facing the right direction, but the camera just isn't drawing it in the right direction? Just isn't drawing him facing the right direction? No. It's the same variable, direction equals whatever. That's bizarre. Oh, I know what I'm doing wrong. I know what I'm doing wrong. I know what I'm doing wrong. Okay, so, the way I have NPCs set up is a little bit weird. In const NPC, there's a bunch of like NPC templates, and this is so that you can have persistence between times when you run the game or when you go to different maps and stuff, because like objects aren't necessarily persistent. And they're linked to one of the entities in the game world at runtime, and I was forgetting to do that, basically. So, if I were to go into the NPC object, you might have noticed the variable actor is basically the pointer to the entity object, the entity NPC object, and I'm going to close out of there. And I was forgetting to connect the two. Or rather, I think I was connecting them to the wrong one. I was connecting them to like a placeholder or something like that. Let me see. Let me run the game again. Alright, so I have the NPC. There's the, yeah, the NPC that it's being linked to is generic NPC. I want test movement. That guy. Wait, what's it called? NPCs.test movement. What's it named in the engine? Const NPC movement test guy is his name. Okay. I can set it to movement test guy. That's a horrible name. I should fix it later. Next, I want to hit register to NPC. The cutscene index is going to be, what's the cutscene index going to be? What was it? Test movement. And now I'm going to talk to you, and now it should work. Yo! He's still not walking. He's walking. Oh, he's stopping when walking. I think I know why that is. I don't know why the camera was moving on its own still. I did see him move at least. I did see him move. That is because I think speed was being set to 0 like immediately after. I think. Alright, so the player's X and Y speed are being set to 0 immediately in every step, which is why there was that thing I was commenting earlier about when you jump, you immediately stop, and why there's no, like, friction or anything like that. Let me think about this for another minute. I know I've done a lot of that in this video, and I'm going to be cutting out a lot of time of me just staring at my screen trying to figure out what's going on. Huh. Why are NPCs... Oh. This is for random movement. These guys aren't set to random movement, are they? They shouldn't be. I'm actually thinking of deleting random movement because it's just so much of a pain to maintain. The only other place they're set to stop is in this script stop, this cutscene script. You face, you wait a second, you walk. This is seconds, right? This isn't like frames. Yeah, this is seconds. You walk for 1 second, you wait. You turn, you stop, you wait. You walk, you wait. Repeat. Alright, well, there are two possible things that are going wrong. One is that X speed and Y speed are getting reset to 0 immediately after moving, and the other is that X speed and Y speed aren't being set to 0, but the entity just isn't moving anyway. And to address that, I'm going to say in the entity NPC end step, I'm going to not leave this here forever, but event inherited, and we're gonna, before we do that, we're gonna show the result of X speed and Y speed. This is just shorthand for show debug message. It's gonna print out to the console down here. X speed, string of X speed, comma, string of Y speed. Alright. Let's do this before and after as well. Just so that I can see if it changes after. And then I'll print a line. Alright. I'm probably going to have to clean the compiler cache again, aren't I? Well, I'll see you when it finally runs. Alright, so here we are again. Please work. Or please at least give me useful information that I can use. Alright, so your speed is going to be 0. I'm going to go and set your variables. It's really distracting down on the console window right there. Alright, let's talk to you. Yo. I think... Alright, let me go investigate what's going on in the console window. Alright, so here it is. I found it. It's got the correct value for exactly 1 frame of the game, and then it goes back to 0. And that's both good and bad because it means that I probably don't have to worry about the regular old movement script screwing stuff up. But it's bad because I have no idea why. Alright. In that case, when I was doing the show message earlier to like pop up on the screen when when the NPC was turning, that was timed properly. So I know the wait script is working. What happens between end step events that what happens between end step events that would stop something? Because it's not colliding with like an invisible wall or anything. Otherwise it would be set to 0 within the end step event right here. God, this must make so little sense to people who are watching this. I'm sorry. I will have this figured out by the end of the video. Like I said, this is what debugging looks like. I hate debugging. What is this X new thing? Entity begin step. Oh, again, this is for, is this what's causing the issue? Should I comment out this random movement script? Is this what's causing the issue? Because I know it was working before, and I don't remember if it was working after I implemented random movement. Let me try commenting that out and see if anything blows up. Alright, let's try this again. Come on, please work. And, oh, it does! And he gets stuck in the wall like he should, and he walks through me because I'm not actually solid, I'm just a point in space. Alright, excellent! In that case, it's rather settled. Oh god. Random movement. Should I disable random movement? Should I, like, remove this code altogether? Because I saw this at the last possible second and was like, this is going to be the issue, isn't it? But if not players exist, so if the player doesn't exist, or if the player is locked, as in a cutscene, as in this is going to be true when oh my god. I feel really dumb for missing this because I think I looked at this before too and I didn't see it. Player.free is basically what it sounds like. If player.free is true, then you can run around. And if player.free is false, then you can't run around. And I think I put this here initially so that when the NPC is walking around randomly, like they can't walk through an important scene. But I'm gonna get rid of that. And I'm gonna leave the rest of it because I kind of want to implement random movement still. I did spend a lot of time working on it, but I don't know. It may be more trouble than it's worth. I'm just gonna put that in the comment here. This may be more trouble than it's worth. I type way too fast. Alright, so that's out of the way. I know that NPCs collide with the terrain geometry properly. I know that they can walk. I have fixed an issue with the scripting engine, and I think I'm going to end this video off here. So, this wasn't, I think, as exciting as the first two videos that I made, but I do hope that whoever was watching this found that interesting, found the little insight into the cutscene engine and stuff interesting, maybe gave you some ideas of what to do in your own games. There's going to be a download for this, or at least the code download for this, probably not an executable. It's going to be in the description of this video. My name is Dragonite. I hope you all enjoyed that, and I will see you all later.